Hello everyone and welcome to episode 17. In this episode we're going to get some armor for our characters. If you're new to this series, you're going to need a Paragon characters and we're going to need Blender for the next couple of steps. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is go to blender.org, or you can just Google search Blender and it'll bring you to this site. And when you get to this site, I want you to go to downloads. And I want you to click on previous versions right here. Download any Blender. And we're going to scroll down. And we're going to get the latest version, which is 4.4. And depending on what you're using, this is where you go. But we're going to get the portable version, which is the zip version, 64. Now open up the folder, extract it, and extract it to wherever you want to extract it. I'm going to extract mine to my download folder. Okay, now once your extraction is done, you click on the folder, and in here you'll see two of these right here, but this is the one you want to click, the one with the 88133 at the end for the size. And this is what you'll see. Now, I just wanted to show you how to open it up. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to left click. But we're going to close this out. And we're going to go for our next thing that we need to do. The next place you need to go to is fab.com. And I want you to search this in the search bar. Paragon. And you'll see a bunch of Paragon character models. The one that we want right now is Greystone. And I want you to scroll down some more. And I want you to get Seraph. And let's scroll down some more to see if there's anything else. Yeah, we're gonna get this one, Mortgage. Alright. So add it to your library once you log in. Get this Greystone. Here's a couple of different models that he has. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take his helmet, and you can take this one or this one, but you should follow what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna take this model right here and take his armor. And this will automatically be separated from the character, so we don't have to move that one. And we're gonna go over to Seraph and add this to the library, and then add it to your project file. So this is Seraph. We're gonna use this for our mage. Take her clothes, rather. And we got Moorish also. And I feel like this is a good character model for a mage character also. Take her clothes. So back in your launcher, you need to go to your library and scroll down to your fab library. And you may need to hit the refresh fab items to get your Paragon stuff. So do that. And then once it's done, type in Paragon in there. And find your Paragon Gray stone and add it to your project. Add it to your Metahuman RPG project like that. Add project. Since I already have it, I don't need to do that. So you find your other ones that we got. So mortgage. Do the same thing. Add it to your project. Then find your, what was the other one? Seraph. So find your Seraph, add that to your project, and when it's done, you can open your project again. Okay, now that we're back in the Unreal Editor, what I want you to do now is click on your content folder, and in the search bar, I want you to type skeletal gray, Grey, and I want you to click on the gray stone tuff, right click it, and in the set actions, click on export. And if you're not in your Unreal Engine folder, just navigate to it. And in this Metahuman RPG folder, we're going to create a new folder. And we're going to call it Assets. Since I already have one, I'm not going to need it. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to save. And I want you to uncheck everything that you see here. And make sure this is FBX 2013. And everything should be just like this, all unchecked. Now we're going to export. And now we're going to do the same thing for our next character, which is Seraph. So SER. And I'm going to use the gold skin. Well, we're not going to use the gold skin. What we're going to do is we're going to take her little weapon. So we're going to export her and take her weapon. So click on gold. And same thing. Assess actions. Export. Save. Export. And now we're going to do the next one. So MOR. And then we're going to choose the dark heart. You don't have to open this up, I'm just showing you. My mouse is making sure it's the one I want. May not be the dog heart. Maybe this one. Yeah, this is the one I want to use. So the Northern Mystic. So we're going to right click on Mortgage Northern Mystic. And assess actions, export, and save. And export again. Now at this point we can close out our Unreal Editor. The next step, open your Blender folder, and we open our Blender. Once in the editor, left click on your editor and select the cube and press X and select delete. Go to your file menu, go down to import and choose FBX. Now navigate to your Unreal Engine project, the Metahuman RPG. Open up the assets folder and open your Greystone Tuff. Now let's start with some simple movements in the editor. Holding down the middle mouse button, you can orbit around the origin. Holding down Shift plus the middle mouse button allows you to move up, down, left, and right. If you move the middle mouse button by scrolling up or down, it'll zoom in if you move forward and it'll zoom out as you move back. By clicking on your 3D model, you can press tab and it'll put you in your edit mode, and if you press it again, it'll put you back in your object mode. What's the difference between the two modes? Object mode selects the whole model, while edit mode allows you to select individual pieces. The next thing we're going to talk about is the cursor. This is where the object will be placed in your editor based off where it is located. If you move the cursor and press Shift plus A, you will get a window for items you can place in the editor. Select Mesh and then Cube, and the cube should spawn at the new location of the cursor. Press X and delete the cube. To reset your cursor back to its original origin or the world origin at the center, there are 3 ways you can do this. The first way is Shift plus C. The second way is going to Object, Snap, and Cursor to World Origin. The third way is right-clicking and selecting Snap and Cursor to World Origin. Now let's select the Select Box tool. And then select the character model. As before, there are 2 modes, Object Mode and Edit Mode. You can press Tab to move between the 2 modes. One thing you need to know, you have to select the object you want to edit in Object Mode first. One of the ways you can tell you're in Object Mode or Edit Mode is at this point right here. And you can see that it has different modes over here, but you can see if between these 2 modes right here. So right now we're in Object Mode. Object Mode allows you to scale and move objects but as one object. While in Edit Mode, you can edit parts of the item or manipulate certain shapes of the item. So while in object mode, if you were to select the move tool and move your character off of the origin, but your cursor is still right here at the origin center. And as you can see, the bones aren't selected, so it didn't move with the body. That's another subject we need to talk about. But just as we did before, you can press Object, Snap, and instead of cursor to the world origin, we'll select Selection to Cursor, and then place it right back where it was before. But back to the, okay, we gotta select our select box tool. But as we said, you gotta select your bones first, and then your body by holding down select and left click. And you can select your move tool again, and this will move the bones with the body. And you can do this again, but this time we'll use the right click and then snap to the selection cursor. Click on your mesh and go into edit mode by pressing tab. Next to your mode window, there are 3 boxes: the vertex select, the edge select, and the face select. I want you to click on the face select mode. Now deselect your character by clicking on the editor window. Now in the right corner, there is an X-ray button. There's actually 2 of them, and I want you to click on these 2. This will allow us to click through our character and see through it, so we can select all the faces of the character model. Now what I want you to do next is go down to our material properties, which is this little red button right here, and I want you to click on Greystone Tough Sword and press select, and you'll see that this garment is selected, and we want to deselect this, so we're going to hold down Control and drag our left click across it, and it'll deselect all of it. Now the next step we want to do is go to our move tool, and we can hold down our middle mouse button and hold down shift at the same time to move over to the left a little bit, and we can rotate with our middle mouse button and pull over to the left while holding down shift and the middle mouse button. And what we'll do is we'll drag this off. Now the next step I want you to do is to click into your editor to deselect, and what I want you to do now is select this shield, and then I want you to press P and selection. Now press tab to go back into your object mode, and you'll see that it's not a part of this model anymore. Now we're going to do the next part for this sword. So we're going to go back into our edit and make sure you're not selected, and we're going to drag over this sword, make sure you get all of it, and we're going to press P again and then selection, and we can go back into mode by pressing tab, and you see that it's deselected, and you have 2 weapons, or a weapon and a shield that's not a part of the model anymore. So the next step we're going to take is we're going to go to our scene collection, and in our scene collection we're going to right click and we're going to make a new collection, And in this new collection, we're going to put our Greystone Tuff. So right click your Greystone Tuff, select hierarchy, and you're just going to drag it down to your new collection. And in the scene, I want you to right click the body, go down to parent, and clear and keep transformation. Okay. And what this does is it removes the bones from the body, which will allow us to reparent the armor and shields and stuff to our metahuman body. Now what we're going to do is we're going to left click into our editor, and up here we're going to go to our viewport shading, and we're going to grab the bones, and then we're going to press X, then delete. So the next step we want to do after that, we're going to click on the weapon, and we're going to use the move tool to move it out of the way. And then we're going to do the same thing with the shield. And then we're going to click on the body, and we're going to go into our edit mode by pressing tab. And then we're going to go down to our material, which is the little red thing down here. And we're going to go over here, and we're going to remove the arms first. So select your arms by clicking on select. And we're going to drag it away. Just pull it over here like that. And then we're going to press P, then selection. Then we're going to go back into object mode by pressing tab. And you'll see that it's away from that. So the next thing we're going to do is click on the body again and press tab again to go into edit mode. And this time we're going to do the torso. And then we're going to grab and drag it off. And then we're going to press P, then selection. Then we're going to go into tab again. And then we're going to do, this time we're going to do the legs. So grab the body again, or what's left of it. We're going to press tab, go into our edit mode, make sure you're in the material, and we're going to go down to our legs. I'm going to select that, and then we're going to select the tough sword also, so we can get this little piece right here. And we're going to drag it off. And then we're going to press P, then selection. Then we're going to go into object mode again. Now, all we have is his head, so we can press X and press delete. Boom, there we go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to select each piece, and we're going to go to object and set origin to geometry. This will bring everything, all the courses, to the object. So we need to do this for each one, so it'll put it on top of the object. Okay, so set origin to geometry. Object, set origin to geometry. Object, set origin to geometry. Object, set origin to geometry. And then we're going to select it again, and then we're going to snap to the cursor. Snap to selection to cursor. And we're going to do this for all of them. Object, snap, selection to cursor. Object, snap, selection to cursor. Object, snap, selection to cursor, object, snap, origin to cursor. Alright. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to our scene again, and we're going to click on Greystone Tough. Then we're going to click here on our object properties, and let's go over here and turn off the eyes for each one of these so they won't take up the space. So now we just have our legs. So what we're going to do is change this to tough legs, and then we're going to go to object, set origin to geometry to origin, and we're going to turn the eye off for our legs, and then go to the next one and turn the eye back on, and we're going to do the same thing. Make sure you click on it. And we're going to change the name to Tough Chest. You just press enter. And then we're going to turn the eye off for this one. Well, actually, let's do this first. Object, set origin to geometry to origin. Then we're going to turn the eye off. Then we're going to click on the next one, turn the eye on. Then we're going to click on it. Then we're going to do the same thing over here. Tough arms. Enter. Then we're going to go to object, set origin, geometry to origin. We're going to turn the eye off again. Then go to this one. And what is this? The sword? Okay. And we're going to turn this into tough sword. Then we're going to do object, set origin, geometry to origin. We're going to turn the eye off again. We're going to go to this one. It's the shield. So I got to click on the shield. Tough. Shield. Enter. Object. Set origin. Geometry to origin. Turn the eye off. And what is this right here? I don't know what that is. I can delete that. Okay. So let's go back down to our tough sword and turn that back on. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our rotation, and we're going to click on this, and we're going to move it upwards and kind of like have it face in where it's straight up. And the reason we're doing this is so when we import it into the game, it'll be straight up instead of just all weird and wonky looking in the game. So okay, and then we're going to take the move tool and where you can hold down shift and what was it? Let's press 1. Okay, and we're gonna pull this up into the hilt, just like at the center. Okay, then we're gonna turn the eye off for this. We're gonna go to the shield, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go to our rotate and click on it. Then we're gonna turn it and make it face. And then we're going to use the move tool to move it up. Then we're going to close the eye. And got our legs. And we're going to rotate. Then we're going to move it up. Okay. Then we're going to close the eye. Then we're going to go to the chest. We're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to move it up. If you don't know what I did, I just press 1 to center it. And I'm going to use the move tool, click it up, move it up. Okay, and then we're done with that one. And then we close the eye. We're going to do the same thing. Just move it up. Okay. Tough sword. Shield. Let's turn the shield back around to the correct way. There we go. And turn that off. Center. Rotate it back to the correct way. Okay. Okay. So I can turn all of them back on. Now go to File. Click on Save As. And take note of where you're saving your files, because this is something we're going to need later. Save the file as warrior_items. And don't worry about the bin, it'll automatically put it there if you're not already saved. So save as. Hit the like and subscribe button, and follow my socials in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and please help my channel grow by hitting the subscribe button. I would like to make this my full-time gig.